back in the studio now after that little musical interlude. And I'm happy to have here the Home Support Manager, Shirley Stewart. And glad you could come, and you're going to give us an update on what's happening in home support.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to be here. I'm here today because I do want to speak on something that is occurring on campus, that it does affect home support, but more importantly, it affects the residents on campus. It has come to the attention of the community that there are groups of private duty aides, if you will, that may be going around soliciting business and gathering other people from outside to come in and provide services. And the reason why it is important to speak on that is because when you're bringing someone into your home, of course, you need to make sure that this person is who they're supposed to be or do what they're supposed to do. And there are guidelines for hiring outside help. The concern that we have is that maybe this is not being done, and we want to make sure that the community is safe and the residents are safe.
Sure.
The guidelines state that any outside contractor, which an outside private duty person is, needs to register with the community, they need to sign in, and they need to have a badge. If you're going to hire someone, such as a private duty aide, you may be required to pay Social Security, workers' comp. You may be also required to fill out an I-9, which is very important. An I-9 is the form that goes to the government.
It's a tax, yeah.
Well, actually, it's not tax.
Oh, it's not tax.
It's for immigration. They need to be eligible to work in the United States. So they check the background to see if they have their proper documents. And if that's not being done, that could be a huge concern. It's important also when they, the paycheck that the client or the outside contractor gets, again, Social Security, workers' comp, federal taxes, all of those things should be paid on. And if you're not doing that, that could potentially be something that you're doing against the law. But what is most concerning, and what I want to be specific in pointing out, is that if you bring in an outside person and they have not been completely vetted, which means background checks. Have they been trained? Are they certified? Do they have a license? Do they have a criminal background? Are they, their vaccines and TB tests, all of those things, have that been taken care of prior to coming onto the community? They have access to the community once they're on campus.
Of course.
And as you may be aware, because we have a lot of people here that are very trusting, and they may not have their doors locked. And that is a potential for some type of danger that could possibly occur. So because that was brought to our attention from some of our staff, I wanted to make sure that I speak on that today, just to make the community aware that you have the right to hire whomever you want to hire, of course, but you need to make sure that whomever you're hiring are people that are safe, people that are going to provide safe care, that they've been trained, and that they are trustworthy. So that's very important. The other thing that I do want to point out again is that when you hire home support aides, we do a thorough background check prior to them coming on. They also have to go through the process of having TB tests done.
A TB test, you're saying?
TB test done, and also a drug screen. They check it to see if they have a criminal background. They also check with the Medicare department that was spoken about earlier from the Garden Ridge presenter, is that if they've had any kind of problems in the past dealing with anybody in a senior living situation, they're barred from working there. We check to make sure that that person does not have that background. We also make sure that they have their credentials, that they are trained. We do not hire anyone that has not been certified as a certified nurse assistant. We provide orientation and skills training. We do it annually. We do the follow-up, and we also make sure that they have the experience with working with the elderly. So I wanted to put that out to make sure that if you are indeed considering hiring outside help, or you're currently doing it now,
now,
sure
if
you
a
follow
person
that.
was doing that, though, Shirley, you said there's some guidelines that I suppose the resident has to abide by.
Yes.
Who's doing the hiring? Where do they get those guidelines? Where is that found? Is it in our different contracts or what?
It should be in your contract, because what I have before me is the guidelines for resident contractors, and it was.
And they could get that from where if they wanted to?
They could actually get it from us if they wanted, or they could probably go to the administrative office and get a copy of that.
Okay.
So they will be sure that they're following those type of guidelines.
And it's a one-page thing?
It's actually a couple of pages.
Okay.
And it speaks on all of the things that is really important. And it's not just private duty aides. It's any contractor that you bring on campus for any purpose. They really need to be screened, and they need to go through these scrutinies in order to make sure that the community stays safe.
Well, unfortunately, in this day and age, it's even more important that we don't get scammed or don't get, taken advantage of. And those of us who are elderly we are prime targets sometimes.
And that is unfortunate, and that's why it's so important to get this message out, because we don't know if we haven't looked into their background and made sure that all of the guidelines are followed. We don't know who we're actually bringing onto the community.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure that that information is out.
And also, I mean, by the way, I'm a proponent of home support. I've used them, and I think it's important that the in-house people, I trust that the in-house people have been properly vetted, and that I can sort of call the shots on if I, as a resident, don't like what's going on. I have somebody I can go to immediately on the premises to say, look, this happened. Is that supposed to happen? Are they supposed to come late? Are they, that kind of thing.
And that's exactly right, because you can pick up the phone and call. Even if it's after hours, we do provide after hours support, so you can pick up the phone and make that phone call, talk to whomever's on call, or talk to whoever's in the office and voice your concerns. And that will be looked into.
Not to besmirch, there are organizations who provide care, outside organizations who do all that vetting.
Yes.
And who are very well certified. Right. And they take care, for instance, of paying the Social Security and doing all that. So there are those, but there again, the resident needs to verify that that person is coming from that kind of agency.
Exactly. That's the key point. We're not saying that you can't use another agency, because all agencies that are certified and licensed are supposed to follow those guidelines and provide those background checks and all of the things that I spoke on. I'm speaking about the private people that are coming in on their own and then soliciting people to come use my people because you can pay less money. It's not always best to go for the lesser money, because sometimes you do get what you pay for.
That's
true. So that's very important, and so I just wanted to make sure that that is shared with the community.
Well, we appreciate that. It is very helpful. I'm sure that our residents, some people maybe didn't think it's just convenient if somebody else's aide, said, oh, why don't you use so-and-so? And by word of mouth, it gets around. But listen, we have like a few minutes, a few seconds.
Sure.
Are you okay? Did you tell us everything you
I
wanted
told
to
you
today?
the most important thing that I wanted
Okay.
to tell you. The other thing that I do want to mention right quick is that some people may realize that we've had some shortages in our department, which
I was going to ask about your staffing.
Exactly.
Yes.
We have had severe shortage in our department in the office since January, but we are very close to being completely staffed.
Oh, good.
We have one more scheduler to bring on board and an assistant manager. So going forward, within the next month, if all goes well, we will be fully staffed and
terrific.
back on track and providing the excellent service that you're expecting from Home Support.
That's good. That's excellent. And you've been in this manager job for what, 5 months?
For 5 months, yes.